Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is preseason football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles as they square off against second-year man Sam Darnold and the new-look New York Jets. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. A few minutes ago, the hometown Jets were introduced to this sellout crowd, and it's a roar that could be heard across the river in Manhattan. They're set to go as their Jets will match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm Brandon Gaudin. As always, by my side is Charles Davis. So the final tune-up for the regular season, and probably not going to really see much starter action out here in this one, are we?
You're right. Not much in the way of starters, key veterans, key backups, but the guys who have to make the team, struggling for those few spots that are open, we'll see them the entire time. But you and I both know this as well. There will be a surprise cut or two from guys who didn't actually play in this game tonight thinking that they were safe.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And in front of a raucous crowd, this one is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Jets work their way onto the field, led by the number 3 overall pick in 2018, Sam Darnold. And during the offseason, Darnold was asked where he was looking to improve. He told everybody being more comfortable in the pocket. You look back to the numbers from his rookie campaign, 17 touchdowns and 13 starts. So just imagine what a relaxed and more experienced Darnold might be able to accomplish with a stronger set of receivers now here in 2019. There's Bell. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Andrew Sendejo in on the stop. And we take a look now at the New York offense.
I don't know about you, but I love a good undrafted free agent success story. So let's take a look at Robbie Anderson, wide receiver, because in 2017, 63 catches, 941 yards, and a strong candidate for the Pro Bowl. Didn't quite get there, but was knocking on the door. How about that for an undrafted free agent out of Temple, now making good in the NFL?
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And the defense now for the Eagles.
Time to focus on the defensive side of the ball for the Philadelphia Eagles, and let's take a look at defensive tackle Fletcher Cox, who's an absolute force inside. He's so good that offensive guards often wonder if they want to play that Sunday, trying to battle that big man.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Now a draw play. This is Bell. And an alley to run. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 14 yards is the pickup there, and a Jet first down. Bell, of course, 3-time 1,000-yard rusher. Sat out 2018, but you look back to 2017, a tick under 1,300 yards and almost 700 more receiving. Now after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On third down, here's Bell. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. They get the first. The decision to run on third and medium winds up being a good one. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Darnold finding Anderson here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone?
Watch the twist, watch the twist.
Now a first down carry by Bell. Down to the 25. The Pro Bowler Fletcher Cox there to get him down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on third down. Out of the shotgun, it's Bell. And they snap him short of the first as he can only get to the 20. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 4th down, the Jets turning to Chandler Catanzaro for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 37. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0. So it'll remain to be seen how many drives this unit gets in, this being the preseason. But here they start with 3 points.
Yeah, I don't know that we'll actually see them anymore. They got 3 points on the board, 1 drive here in preseason. In this game, baseball caps, NFL approved, of course, for everyone.
Following the field goal on is Locke Edwards to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here come the Eagles under 4th-year head coach Doug Peterson. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
He didn't have as many throws or plays in college as many of the quarterbacks that were coming out in the draft, but he maximized what he had. Ended up winning 2 national championships as a starting quarterback at North Dakota State.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
2 times. 3 down.
Now a 2-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. And here are the starters for Philadelphia.
One of the tougher receivers in the NFL is Alshon Jeffrey, who over the last couple of years has battled through a shoulder injury and then had a cracked rib near the end of 2018, but didn't prevent him from still being a huge factor in their offense. Had a tough drop in the divisional playoffs against New Orleans last season, but oftentimes will catch the football and turn it into a big play.
From the 31, Wentz, and the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Mike, here we go. Waiting. Hey, here we go.
On first down, they run with Howard. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Right there. Here we go. Waiting. Get him.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 24-yard line. That catch now puts him on the doorstep of 500. It's his 499th reception. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 24.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
Running with Howard. Now Howard stripped. He lost the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
Preseason.
yeah, right now. You know that come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, yeah, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
New York set to take the field. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch tight end. Hey. 4 down.
Now off the bootleg, Darnold. It's caught by Quincy Enunwa. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. This is Bell, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Check back.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Darnold. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. From the shotgun, it's a give to Bell. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. Let's hope it's not anything that'll keep him out of the opener. We'll be right back. On fourth down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Eagles will have the football at the 20-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Second and 9 now from the 21.
Let's go, defense.
Shotgun now for Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 35.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Running from the gun with Howard. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
On the delay, it's Howard. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Now as we look down, it appears we've got a Jet shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back. On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz. It's caught by Aguilar. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Now the first carry for Ty Montgomery. And his first carry, he loses the football. But I think a Jet was able to recover, and they'll keep possession thanks to a heads-up play.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Quincy Anoon with the intended receiver, and it'll bring up third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Montgomery, he's got it on the draw. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a fourth down.
Well, they got off the field on third down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Wentz. Aguilar has it. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A pickup of 27, and they pick up the first down in the process. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Wentz now already over 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. They run with Howard. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
From the 38, Wentz. And his throw is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the second level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
Here's Wentz to throw. They'll set up the screen to Howard. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion. What you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Nigel Bradham brings him down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers point their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
An incomplete pass on second down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Here's Jackson. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. We were just talking about in pregame, 3 tackles for a loss. Last week, you thought he looked so explosive on film. Starting off good there, another one in the first quarter.
He's every bit of what you described, and I don't want to make it too simplistic, but right now for him, it's see ball, get ball, and that's what he's doing really, really well, and he's doing it in the offense's backfield.
On 2nd and 12, Wentz throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, if there is a certainty in this game, we know that wherever he goes, he's going to draw a big-time crowd.
Throws into double coverage there. And, look, that's something that he's going to have to deal with a lot in this game, I'm sure.
Yeah, they were lucky to get away with that one where it just fell incomplete. But they're going to count on him to uncover latent routes and make some difficult catches.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. The linebacker C.J. Mosley there in coverage.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now it's Crowder. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a pass taken in by the tight end Herndon. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. .6-3 is our score after one. It's the NFL on EA Sports. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Here we go. 60 Pittsburgh.
Now a first carry here for Shane Vereen. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now it's the backup Simeon. That one's complete to Tomlinson. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 28.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the run, here's Vereen. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, Simeon. Wesco, the tight end, making the catch. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 15-yard line.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They'll run. It's Vereen. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
So maybe just a momentary setback on what's been a great drive so far, but 2nd and 13 here. From the gun, here's Simeon. Open man there, that's Bellerman. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
On the ready. Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same.
And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Eric Tomlinson there to make the grab. And the Jets are going to retake the lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Here's Chandler Catanzaro for the extra point. And he's got it as the lead is now 10-6. So that drive goes a full 80 yards in 10 plays. And it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Oh, that was dangerous. Throw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down. By the way, as we expected, most of the starting units out here in the 2nd quarter, so get your 2 deep, your 3 deep, your 4 deep ready for this one.
If you have a particular favorite who wasn't a high draft pick or is an undrafted free agent trying to make the team, this is the time to watch him play and give it his best shot, because most of the starters, you're exactly right, they'll be out of the game watching the rest of the way.
14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
Ready, set.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Avery Williamson, the Jets' leading tackler a season ago, in on the stop.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Kessler. There's the first NFL catch for J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 41-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. On 1st and 10, it's Clement. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Hey, a sidebar worth noting is that preseason cuts have changed. So week 3 that we're in right now, the preseason, I think, what did you say, the roster's going to stay at 90 instead of going down to 75 this year?
That's exactly right, Brandon, because in the past, just what you said, this game here, at the end of week 3, or game 3, you would cut the roster down to 75 and play game 4 just like that. In this case now, though, they're going to be able to keep guys all the way through. So guys who would normally not have a chance to finish out the preseason, they'll get that chance now and get more opportunities to get on tape. Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. It's Clement back to the running game. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd and inches, Kessler got it complete to Rodgers. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Give him 2 yards. That sets him up 1st and goal.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Right there, 54 Mike. Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
2nd down and goal. Kessler, and that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown.
There we go.
J.J. Arcega-Whiteside there to make the grab. And the Eagles have retaken the lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Here's a throw out wide to Anderson. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Simeon. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for. And it's third down.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Now Simeon. He's going to loft one. Looking for Marshall, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. Marshall, the intended receiver.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now Kessler. That'll be caught by Rodgers. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Eagles on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Kessler. Open man, the tight end Rodgers. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Break. 33, check flag 33. 6-man. Check cross, check cross, check cross.
On first down, Clement. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. Second down. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
This is brought in by Gibson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
Let's go. Let's go.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Set, ready, 30 base. Here we go, here we go. Let's go.
Here's Clement. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Okay, ready?
Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This close to the goal line, you got to be very careful with the offense calls rub routes. When I call a pick trying to screen you off from your coverage, does a nice job of avoiding that and helping force an incompletion.
The first carry for Josh Adams. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the second quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your two-point conversion plays, because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have one or two for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those and go get 6.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Trevor Siemian ready to retake the field. Charles, it's the second quarter. Your team's losing. You're not playing well as the quarterback, but like I said, it's the second quarter, so how worried right now are you?
You're concerned, but you're not panicked because you know there's still an opportunity. No one's excited about his stat line right now. 1 touchdown pass, okay, that's cool, but he's throwing an interception as well. Can he eliminate the mistakes and keep making the positive plays, the good plays? That's what they're looking for from him.
Time to find out if he can do just that. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Here's Vereen. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. An effective 7-yard third down conversion.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Ready, break. 27, check, Mike, 27.
On first down, here's McGuire. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And down to the 19-yard line. That one good for 33 and a first. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On the delay, this is Vereen. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll try the air now with Siemian. And it's caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. Point after now from Catanzaro. kick is right through. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it ends with a Jet touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Cody Kessler trotting back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, the little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass, no interceptions for him personally to this point.
On the ready.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Ready.
Shotgun snap, Kessler. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Got a man. It's Arcega-Whiteside.
Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Here we go. Set. 15 line. 15 line.
They'll run on 1st down. Clement, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd and 11 now. Kessler, Rodgers brings it in. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 30. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go. Here we go.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. This is Clement. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
Down. 60 Pittsburgh.
Throwing on 2nd down. Kessler. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it, so on comes the field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Elliott is good. And with that, they'll take a 2-point lead here in quarter number 2. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This fielded at the 2.
We got this.
So we are halfway through here in the final week of the preseason. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. One more half of football to get through before we say goodbye to the 2019 preseason. All 32 teams in action tonight. Then everyone will be required to cut down to 53 by 4 Eastern on Saturday. And we get it all started 1 week from tonight. The Packers and Bears from Soldier Field.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw, Kessler. That's complete to Arcega-Whiteside. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
Well, they obviously red man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
He made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, and then he curls back inside for the completion.
This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Running is Clement. In on the stop, the Pro Bowl strong safety Jamal Adams. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 40. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. On first down, Clement, and he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
On 2nd and 11 now. Kessler throwing middle, but it's incomplete. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
On third down, Kessler. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. No gain on the play there, second down. They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Simeon. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever, because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field.
Ready up. Mike 27, Mike 27. Here we go, here we go.
On first down, here's a handoff to Marine. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet first down. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it.
They'll run here with Marine. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
15 line. 15 line.
Looking to throw on second down. Simeon into the hands of his receiver, Anderson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Here we go. 50.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And to give this time to the tailback. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Jet first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
On the double. 27, check Mike, 27. Now watch run.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. Everyone got 4. Go.
Now it's Simeon. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 23.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Set. 60 Pittsburgh.
A give to McGuire. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. And he'll give it here to his running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 2nd and goal.
Early down stuffs to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here.
I got you.
Simeon. That is caught by Anderson for a Jets touchdown. Robbie Anderson ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game as his guys are back within a single score.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
So that one, a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
The face mask moves him all the way out past the 40 now for first down. Now a give to Clement running to the right. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Working from the gun, Kessler. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. And sensing the momentum maybe changing here a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, this defense is going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown last time they had the ball, so they should get another shot.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jets are going to take over at their own 20-yard line. New York set to take the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
They'll start out with a run by Barine. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now after the loss, they come up 2nd and 11 from the 19-yard line. A shotgun snap for Simeon. That'll be taken in by Anderson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Simeon now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Let's go now. 60 outlaw. He can't hang. He's not going to get me. Let's go.
On 2nd and 11 now. Simeon. And he's got this complete to Bellamy. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 42 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Let's put that team on the bus. Now.
On the handoff, it's McGuire. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing, but he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now, making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield and spilling everything.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Play action. It's Simeon. That's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. When we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
Here we go. 18 Gator. Right there. Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
They'll try to run it with Vereen. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Here we go.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Give me that ball, defense.
Simeon toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. He was looking for his big target, Brandon Marshall, but now it's 3rd and goal.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. So it's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
Following the field goal on his Locke Edwards to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Cody Kessler trotting back onto the field. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Looking to throw, Kessler. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Richard Rodgers, that time. Third down here. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Out of the gun, Kessler. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They're going to run the draw here with Clement. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Let's go.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st down, they go with Clement again. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
Let's go. Let's go.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Ready, ready. 10-2 stop.
On 1st down, this is Adams. This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Kessler. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
Here we go.
7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They come out here in the eye.
Check, check, walk 54, walk 54. Check, 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 check. Ready, ready.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
70.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. And now it's Kessler. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Ja'Kai Polite in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? From the shotgun, Kessler. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Elliott good with a PAT, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now a first down run here. This is Vereen. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Simeon. And he slings one that's incomplete. Josh Bellamy, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And it's taken in at the 9. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
58, come on. Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
They'll begin on the ground with Clement. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking it.
It's caught inside the 25. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually got to pick up a holding call.
Kessler throwing now. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out come the Jets. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now a draw play. Marine. Malik Jackson there to make the stop. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Stop your whining. Ready.
From the 45 on second down, Simeon. The veteran Brandon Marshall, the intended target, but now it's third down.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick, but able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
Open man is Anderson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. With that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together?
Let's go.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 18.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Ready, set. 27, check Mike, 27. He's tired of me. He's tired of us. Shoot.
And to give this time to the tailback. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Come on, set.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play out.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. From 17 yards out, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. It's been quite the game for him individually. A trio of touchdown catches now.
So pick a route, any route. Whatever you want him to run, he's going to do it and do it well and end up in the end zone. This has really been fun to watch.
Catanzaro now for the extra point. And the lead is down to 2. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a Jet touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
30 base.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Kessler. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
They stare up now at a 3rd and long. Kessler and company needing something big after the sack. From the gun, it's Kessler. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taken from just outside the 30. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Good starting position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. They'll fake the handoff. Now Simeon. And this one's incomplete. Eric Tomlinson, the intended target. And it's 3rd down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a 1st down.
The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On the ground, it's Clement to start the drive. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go, G, get off the field.
Now it's Clement. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll run with Clement. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw him through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
Here's Cameron Johnston now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
The best play callers in any league know how to break their tendencies. They study themselves, they self-scout, and they realize most of the time you don't call a draw play on 1st and 10. So every so often you insert that play just to make the defense think, even if it's not successful.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Simeon. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Cravon LeBlanc with a pick. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive. I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. On second and goal, Kessler. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in. An out route there for the score, a quick out route there for the score.
Yeah, you're not really surveying the defense on this one. You're just counting on timing, making this play happen. 1-2, ball's out of his hands, knows where he's going, just puts it to the outside. Touchdown.
They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Trevor Siemian ready to retake the field. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Normally that's not the down and distance that you call a draw play. You usually want to wait to 2nd or 3rd down with a definite passing situation before that play is dialed up.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Out of the gun, Siemian. He'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way up to the 45-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Come on, set. 60 or. Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. We got 3. We got 3.
Out of the gun, they'll run with McGuire. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. On the run, here's Vereen. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Every now and then I scratch my head when I see the draw play called, especially after a great run the previous play. Keep attacking. Sometimes the draw play develops slowly, and that allows the defense to react.
Let's go now. 10-2 saw. Check. 42's the mark. Ricky. Get it.
On 2nd and 12, Siemian. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This from 54 yards away. And this one is right down the middle. And that'll move them back within 6 now. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Following the field goal on is Locke Edwards to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. The field goal we just saw has us now at a 1-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot a bit.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? It might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball, but here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that, and that means opening things up again, being a little more free in what they're trying to get done on offense.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. On 2nd and 11 now. Kessler. That one caught by Gibson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Clement. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Here's Cameron Johnston now. He's been terrific so far. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And he fields it cleanly. That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So the Jets now down on the scoreboard. And time, a huge factor. You can't say the preseason isn't interesting. This has been great as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go. 8, read. 50's the mark, 50's the mark. Check the outs, check the outs.
Now. They'll run. It's Marine. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Watch time.
Ready?
He's back to throw. A screen here to Vereen. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Set. 18 Gator. 27.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Ready?
Mike's 50. It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time.
5.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
15 line. Get it.
Back to throw. And he's got it complete to Anderson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. From the gun, the running back, McGuire. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Ready. 60 Pittsburgh.
Bandit.
They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
A third down run with McGuire. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. 2 yards on the picker. It's 4th down.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. Here we go on 4th. Simeon. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Eagles are likely going to win it. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
30 base.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points. Continue